The ministry remains committed to being the driving force behind a sustainable and reliable transportation system, as well as for a responsible and profitable mining industry.
It is through that route of sustainability and the road of reliability that our transportation on land, air and sea and our mining industry is being developed to our full benefit. And despite the effects of a seemingly extended pandemic, the Ministry of Transport and Mining remains steadfast in its commitment of getting back on track while revitalizing with purpose. Here's what the ministry is doing for you this financial year.
At the Ministry of Transport and Mining, we have policy oversight for land, air, and maritime transport, with responsibility for ensuring that all modes are connected, reliable, and viable. MBJ is continuing its investment in the improvement and expansion of the facilities at Sangster International Airport.
More incoming flights are already scheduled and forecasted for this year. And in preparation for that increase, expansion and remodeling works will be done on the departure terminal at the Sangster International Airport, as well as the installment of a 3-megawatt solar power project. $36 million is also being spent to continue works under the airport's runway extension project.
PACAL, the operators of the Kingston Norman Manley Airport, they are in the process of implementing several projects.
Over at the Norman Manley International Airport, runway pavement improvements and rehabilitation works are to begin next month for completion by September. A 5-megawatt solar power project will also be implemented at the facility to provide 75% of the airport's energy requirements. The work in aviation continues over in St. Elizabeth, with the acquisition of the Holland Bamboo Airstrip to be undertaken this financial year. This will facilitate airlift to residents and improve access to tourism attractions in and around the area.
It is no secret that the aging, limited fleet of the JUTC is unable to meet adequately the demands of the commuting public. We are looking to expand and diversify the fleet with new buses and alternative fuel.
This fiscal year, be on the lookout for 70 additional Jamaica Urban Transit Company JUTC buses on our roadways. The company will also begin testing the use of biodiesel fuel with the intention to expand the full complement of diesel-operated units in the fleet. The Montego Bay Metro fleet will receive cameras to complement the already installed tracking devices.
This allows more accurate arrival times to be communicated to commuters, and we are moving forward with plans to implement a cashless system.
And if your journey takes you on our toll roads, then you may very well realize the Toll Authority regulating advertisements. The authority is also moving to gain legislative authority to fine pedestrians who trespass on toll roads and to penalize motorists for tailgating.
The authority is further seeking empowerment to apply monetary sanctions on toll operators for non-compliance in the remedying of any defects, damages to the toll road infrastructure.
Our public passenger vehicle PPV drivers and owners are not to be left out. The TravelPal mobile app is being programmed for integration with the emergency 119 centers of the Jamaica Constabulary Force by August, fueled by the Transport Authority. The authority will also be establishing a chief investigative department to deal with complaints. In this financial year too, the digitization of driver's license records will be extended to an additional 7 examination depots.
And this will enable access and analysis of our driver's licensing records, ensuring greater integrity to the system.
The motor vehicle fitness and inspection process is to also be strengthened with the implementation of geofencing technology.
As we seek to modernize our driver testing operations and also to bring trust to our operations, we have been executing the electronic testing of provisional driver's license applications.
The intention is to have the technology implemented in a further 5 depots to allow more applicants to receive their grades electronically. Government's investment in the maritime affairs of the nation is still high on the priority list. So this financial year, you'll witness the development of a new model of the Jamaica Ship Registry, the JSR. The sector is also seeing the implementation of a maritime single window to facilitate the electronic clearance of ships in collaboration with the Port Authority of Jamaica.
We are going to revive the railway service in Jamaica.
The ministry will be looking to open the student passenger rail service project to the general commuting public, especially as we approach the closing of school during the summer period. The ministry is also pursuing the operation of a tourist train service from Montego Bay to Appleton Estate,
which will facilitate the growth and development of the Jamaican economy and enhance the quality of Jamaica's tourism product.
Tracks will also be laid for the movement of freight on the active line in the Windalco corridor of Uwerton to Port Esquivel.
The railway's ability to transport large volumes of goods over long distances, typically unimpeded by traffic congestion, makes it the cheapest form of land transport, which contributes significant economic value in reducing transport costs. There is no doubt, however, despite the controversy around mining, of the value it adds to our economy and livelihoods.
Government will be developing a geoscience institute to transform the institutional arrangements for the management of the mining sector.
The institute will subsume the functions of the Jamaica Bauxite Institute and the Geological Survey function of the NGD. This public body will facilitate the transformation of the sector into a diversified minerals portfolio.
We will see more families who were relocated from bauxite mining areas getting land titles for where they now live, with the target for 2022 being the delivery of 300 titles.
The bauxite mining companies are being encouraged to utilize all available modalities to implement the transfer of title.
The Jamaica Bauxite Mining JBM development plans at the Reynolds Pier facility is in the fourth and final stage, which is slated to begin this month. The work will include building out a pedestrian way with craft vending kiosks. And this October, the market will be introduced to bottled water extracted from the spring on the Jamaica Bauxite Mining's Ocherias property.
This water will be distributed in bulk to the cruise lines that dock at the Reynolds Pier. This innovative project will promote Jamaica's alkaline natural resource and will provide an economically viable revenue stream to the JBM.
And the Jamaica Bauxite Institute, JBI, will pursue the diversification of its laboratory services to include commercial testing of water samples and completion of ISO accreditation of select lab testing methods.
The accreditation process was started in 2021 and is expected to be completed for certain test methods this year. The JBI will have the first ISO accredited bauxite laboratory in Jamaica.
So those are the plans of the Ministry of Transport and Mining for the 2022-2023 financial year, as it sees about the business of getting back on track while revitalizing with purpose.
We must get back on track with our revitalization efforts. We must get back on track with our obligations to our mining communities. We must get back on track with the provision of efficient and regulated transport services, including the railway. You can't get back on track and railway not into it. So, we must get back on track and revitalize with purpose